My dear friends, the gospel today is really like a continuation of what we heard yesterday. In fact, it's a continuation because Jesus has just disembarked from the boat, and he finds himself in the region of the Decapolis, and then he finds these two demoniacs who come to him. And it's a continuation because we hear Jesus commanding and silencing the waves and the storm over the sea that we heard yesterday. And biblically, when we talk about the sea, we hear about the sea. When it comes to anything to do with scriptures, it is symbolic of evil, actually. In the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation, you hear about the beast coming out of the sea. Okay? So we hear Jesus showing his authority over evil by silencing the storms that the apostles met, especially when they were on the boat, like we heard yesterday. And today we hear a continuation of that. Jesus now coming face to face with evil. Now, evil is something that attracts. There's no doubt about it. That is why people struggle a lot with evil. People would tell you it's so difficult to let go of this. I try as much as possible, but I can't let go because evil attracts. The devil has so much invested in evil that it's so difficult to do. It's difficult to let go of it. So think about what we go through. Think about our vices. Think about our addictions. Think about what you struggle with. How it's difficult to let go of gossiping. Okay? Because when we meet, we want to talk about people and how sweet and how attractive that is. Think about other things that you would want to let go of, but it's very difficult to let go of. That's why I say evil attracts. We want to, it's not that we want to stay there, we want to avoid it, but at the same time, it pulls us to itself. But even though it attracts us and we feel attracted to it, it is very destructive. It's very destructive. We know it attracts, it draws us to itself, but we know at the same time that this does not only destroy people and things around itself, but it destroys us. It eats us up slowly and takes us away from God. And we can find that in the way this evil treats these two demoniacs. These were two ordinary people who lived their lives to the full. But they were demon-possessed. And the gospel says no one dared to pass through that way because of the way they were violent, not only to the people but to themselves. In other gospel, it says that they were gnashing themselves with stones. They were cutting themselves, telling us how destructive evil can be. And we hear again, when Jesus casts them out into the pigs, what do? Everything goes into the river. Everything goes back into the sea. The evil goes back to where it came from. But think about the wealth, the peaks of these people of the Decapolis, who is launched down into the sea, the destructive power of evil. But there is one solution to it, and this is what happens. When Jesus appears, the evil recognizes him. The demons recognize him. And they say, we know who you are. You are the Son of God. What have you come to do with us? Have you come to destroy us before the appointed time? Evil recognizes Jesus. It is self-destructive, but once Jesus appears, they have to submit to that authority. And you see, when we are so attracted to evil, one thing we do not want to think about is God. And this is how it is being fashioned. When people get, for instance, when people get demon-possessed, the one thing they don't want to talk about is Jesus. Because the demons would try as much as possible to prevent somebody to talk about Jesus. Because once Jesus appears, letter of St. Paul to the Philippians chapter 2 says that every knee shall bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord. And that is why the evil one would always try as much as possible. Do not get close to Jesus. Do not pray. Once you are struggling with something, do not even pray about it. Just don't worry, you would get over it. That is what the devil would tell us. Don't let anybody know about it. Don't worry, in time, very soon you get over it. But we just realize the more we do not talk to Jesus about it, the more we do not go to confession, the more we do not bring this to Jesus in prayer, the more we become more and more launched in, the more we become more and more attached, the more we become more and more addicted to that particular thing. Even though we feel we are going to get over it, just give it some time. You get over it. That is not the path. And we must realize that even though we try, we cannot do it by ourselves. When it comes to trying to let go of something we do not want in our lives, especially of evil, we cannot do it by ourselves. Jesus has to show up. And for Jesus to show up, we have to invite him. We have to let Jesus come in. It's what tells us he only stands at the door and knocks. He cannot open it by himself. We have to invite him in to come and take possession. And once he shows up, every knee shall bow. Therefore, it's an invitation again for us, my dear friends, that Jesus wants us to know that he is there. Just like in the boats that we heard yesterday, Jesus is in the boat sleeping. We have to wake him up. Go to him and wake him up. Through your life of prayer, through reading the scriptures, through your sacramental lives, we wake Jesus up. And once he shows up, every knee shall bow. So let us therefore continue to ask him, especially as we begin the second half of this year, that he would always show up in our lives, that he would go ahead of us in everything that we do, that he may continue to guide us against the powers of the evil one. And at every moment, let us remember that Jesus has come to set us free from the powers of darkness.
Jesus died for our salvation, our sins nailed him to a tree. Help us praise, obey and worship your dear Son more faithfully. To our God we pledge allegiance.